Hi everyone, welcome to my channel, and today in this video we'll be building Node.js API using Express framework, and the best part is we'll be creating a simple ChatGPT backend by using OpenAI API. So let's get started. So first of all, we'll open a terminal and create a folder inside the desktop. Actually, the folder named as Node.js has already been created, so we'll basically go inside the folder Node.js and create a folder named as ChatGPT there. So now we'll use the code dot command to basically open the folder or what we call directory in VS Code editor. So now we'll open the terminal inside the editor, and we'll create a package.json file with npm init command in the present directory, and give the description, but keep the rest as it is. And we'll give the author name as my own name. So now we get this package.json page, which basically contains all the details and is used by Node.js and the package managers like npm and yarn to install dependencies and to run the scripts and also to manage the project. Now we are going to install all the dependencies that are required. So we'll be installing Express, obviously, Express framework, right? This Node 1 to automatically restart the Node.js application while file changes are detected actually. And the third one is .env, which allows us to load environment variables from a .env file into a Node project, right? So basically to create an extra layer of security. And the last one, OpenAI, right? OpenAI module. So basically with the help of this module, we can make a HTTP request to the OpenAI endpoints, and there are many more, right? But in this project, that's what we are gonna do. Okay, so it's installing, and there you go. So as you can see, it's shown here in this dependencies, under the dependencies, right? So dep, which actually is under the script, is a command to start the server using Node 1. So Node 1 basically to restart the server when changes detected, right? So, and it is commonly used in development for faster process instead of manually restarting. Server.js file. This file is main file that is typically executed first. Mostly it is named as index.js, but I mostly prefer, and we can customize it with any name. All we have to do is keep the same name here as well. Now we'll start coding, and we will first import the Express module and creates the instance of the Express by calling the Express function. In this way, assigning into the app constant. So basically, this app instance can be used to configure routes, middleware, etc. Oh, mistake. Now this app.listen function starts the Express application and listen to incoming request on 5000 port. So first is port number, and the second argument that we see is the callback function that is executed when server starts. So now the app is running on the port number 5000. Now what we are going to do is create a file that is .env file, and here we are going to put the variables actually. So port number and OpenAI API key. So we are going to this will put down later on, right? Now we have to import the .env module. So basically to configure it, now we have to provide the path to the file. And now we can type process.env and the variable's name that is port, and it's working. We'll be importing some of the objects from the OpenAI module. From these list of objects, we'll be using configuration and OpenAI API objects. Basically, these objects are used to configure and access the OpenAI API. Now, app.post method, we use this method to handle the HTTP post request to a specific route or the endpoints. The post method, it takes two arguments. First one is URL path, that is to merge, and the second one is the callback function that gets executed when a post request is made. Right now, for time being, we'll just be using this console.log to check that the method gets executed. Now we are going to open a Postman. So Postman is actually an API development tool. I believe that you're well known about this tool. So with Postman, we can do many things, but here we'll just use for the purpose to check whether the post request is successful and also that we get the response as we want. So now at first, we'll create a collection and name it as ChatGPT. So the next things that we're going to do is add a request, right? Add a request method. Okay, we'll make a request to this URL, which is a local web address. We'll give the port number 5000 because it's running on 5000 and /chat, which is an endpoint. Let us set our method to post. So now let us give it a try. Okay, there you go. So we got the response, right? We are gonna go back to the Postman. Now we are gonna select the body, and in there we are going to select this row and give a body of JSON format. Okay, actually, so at first we need to select this JSON, and now in the body we set key name as query, and give a value, right? Okay, let me create a constant and get the value actually from the request dot body, right? And print the value in the console. That undefined response is because we need to first parse the incoming JSON data from client request with this middleware function. So let us now use the destructuring. Let's try other way. No, let us use destructure actually to actually extract the value of the key, which is named as query from request.body objects. So now we declare constant variable which is named as configuration, and create a new object of the configuration class and assign to it. So now we initialize it by passing assigning a value, not passing, actually assigning a value to API key property. We use process.env and the variable name. So we use .env file and get the value from here. We use this .env file and get the value from here. So we will assign the value later on in .env file for that OpenAI API variable. Now we actually define a constant variable OpenAI and create a new object from OpenAI API class. So we put this configuration file here and assign it to the OpenAI variable. Now we use try catch block to handle the errors. Okay, completion constants now gets the response, right? So we use await here as we get the response in promise. So for that we need to make our function as asynchronous. Now we need this OpenAI response here, configuration object to create this configuration, and which we finally use here. So now create completion method, and it is passed with an object with two properties. This create completion method is passed with two properties. The first one is model. This specifies the model to use for the text generation, for the purpose of text generation, and And the second one, which is the prompt properties, it is the one where we provide the query text, on the basis of which actually the text response text is generated. Now, Express.js responds with the status code 200 for success. Will we send us JSON response with properties success, with boolean true, and properties data with API response, which is in completion object. The text itself is stored in the text property of the first choice in the choice array, which is in the data object of the API response. So basically now in the error block, if the error occurs, then the error is caught, and if statement checks if the error response has a response property. If there is a response property, then Express.js will respond with the status code and the error message. Otherwise, for status and the error message will be returned. So now we'll get the API key. We'll also look for the language model. Here we have used text differential tree right now in our project. So we'll now go into OpenAI page and basically look for the API section. So click on this API. So we can sign up and do the process, but I mostly prefer Google login now. Now here we need to click on the profile pic and click on view API keys. Now click on create new security button and basically copy the key. Now we'll paste it here on this .env file and on this variable, and now check whether it works or not. The response from the OpenAI API, but now the problem here is we are getting incomplete response, right? So what we're going to do is here we have to add one more properties, so that is max tokens, which we'll discuss more in details, but for now let us keep the value as 4000. And so now let's see. Perfect. Okay, now actually this model and max token, so let's go through them. OpenAI text model. So Here this is what we use, the model name and max request token. Basically this model could handle a wide range of natural language processing tasks, such as language translations, question and answers, text generations, and many more. And it's clear that maximum request size for this model is 4,000, which is mentioned here, right? So, but you can go more in details. So, thank you for watching till the end, and hope to see you all in my upcoming videos. And both positive and negative comments are most welcome. And folks, give a like if you found the video useful, and please, I have to use the word please, please do subscribe for more such upcoming videos. Thank you for tuning in. Thank you.